Hello, this is my second video where I'm going to try to demonstrate some things. I know I don't look that good. It's kind of embarrassing to make this video and put it up for everyone to see. My eyes, it's like I got all this stuff on me that no one can see, including me. These fungal threads. But as I said in my first video, I'm going to try to help other people and perhaps maybe even get some help myself. So if you watched my first video, you know that I'm telling you that there's some threads, fungal threads on my body because of what they now call Morgellons. And they're real tiny, they can't really, they're like, smaller than spider webs. If they're really hard to detect, they're really hard to identify because they're not the main body of this fungus. And so as it grows on your body, there's different techniques. My dermatologist from long ago taught me. It's like I'd go back and I'd say, gee, I really, I'm having trouble getting it out of my ears. Because he told me, yeah, it's in your ears. And so, one thing he told me about getting it out of your ears was he said, put some hydrogen peroxide in your ear, because hydrogen peroxide, it doesn't actually kill it. It's these threads, it's like you can't really just kill them, but what you can do is loosen up where they're stuck to you. And hydrogen peroxide helps to loosen it up so that you can get it out of you. And also you use like heavier wax and stuff maybe. And so one technique he told me about getting it out of your ears was you take your finger, put it in your ear like this, and go pop. And so that's one technique to use to help get it out of your ears. Now, what I want to tell you is, you have to be really careful. As I said in my first video, I'm not a doctor. There's an opportunity to injure yourself. I want to make a disclaimer, if you hurt yourself, it's because you hurt yourself. It's not because I told you to do something and, it's all my fault. So, you want to keep your nails short because it's very easy to scratch yourself. There's a technique, a couple techniques he showed me, and he gave me a caution. He said, always keep your fingertips curled up when you're trying to get this off. Don't let your nails contact your skin because you're going to scratch yourself. And I understand, people have lesions with this. And if I didn't remember what my doctor had told me, if I didn't have a clue what this was, I'm sure that I could be scratching, I got an itch and scratch myself, and, it turns into lesions. And, these little threads are in the cut, and they, traverse your body. And these threads, he told me, they grow in kind of like a spiral, spring shape. And it's like when they grow, they're moist. It's like, and when, they have less moisture, they tighten up. So it's like you got these, pulled out springs of threads that are super tiny, that no one can see with a naked eye, growing on you. And so it's like when you're trying to get it off, it's like you feel a jerk. It's like you break it loose from one point or another point. And you have to, it's like, okay, I've got some all on my body. So I take my hand, and let me see if I can do it so you can see. And I'm not scratching myself. What I'm doing is I'm taking my thumb, my forefinger, and I'm trying to pinch it, like up here, and keep this part of my finger up, away from my skin. So it's like, okay, yeah, I can feel something here. And I'm slowly tracing it out. It's like a thread on my body. And I'm slowly peeling it away, tracing along. It's going back and forth. It's a huge hassle. You know, it doesn't feel all that good. It can be painful. So I slowly go along and I'm unwinding it from my body. So that's, you know, that's how to do it that way. Now, one of the main ways to get it off is to use a damp towel, because you can, the thing about this is fungus are made of threads, and so you can, it's, you know, you have to like develop a technique. You have to, for, you know, it takes a while to actually be able to tell that that's what's going on. As you slowly go like this, and then like, oh, you know, yeah, I can feel something. I can't see anything, but all right, yeah. And you know, you can feel it, and it's going around. It's like a big annoyance and painful it can be, and it's like it goes all over, and eventually it'll go back up to wherever it originated from, but that can take a while. And sometimes it's like you'll get onto a thread and it'll start really pulling. It's like the doctor told me he said, you have a lot of what's called potential energy on your head from this stuff. It's like if you take a steel spring and you pull it apart, and it takes 10 pounds of pressure to pull it apart, and you know, anchor each end, then it's like you've got 10 pounds of potential energy there. And it's similar with this. So it's like, you know, you can injure yourself, but also sometimes you'll get a piece and all of a sudden it'll really start pulling. And it's like goes around and around. It can go down to your toes. I'll talk about fingers and toes in a little bit. But it's like all of a sudden it's like, whoa, it's pulling around. Hey, oh, gee. It's like, I told people, it's like, this is like something out of a science fiction horror movie, this affliction. And so, you know, you're getting it off, and you just have to get it off. The main way is to get it off with a damp towel, because the towel, you get some in it, and you can get, you know, more of a mass, because sometimes, like, if there's a patch of it that's winding around, you can, like, get the whole patch up, get the whole layer, and get it off of you. Another thing he told me was, hey, look, it's in your eyes. You know, you're not going to get it off you till you can get it out of your eyes. So he told me, you take your finger, very careful, your nail-trimmed finger, so you're not going to stab yourself. You get into the corner of your eye, like this, and you get it out. And it's like there's not just one piece. It's like it takes a while, depending on how long it's been growing on you. And, you know, it's like you have to just unwind all of it, and it takes like months. It takes a long time. He told me, you know, look, I'm a teenager, and I didn't feel as greatly afflicted as I do now, and you know, I was kind of careless. And like, look, I want you to spend at least 1 hour every day getting this stuff off you like that. And, you know, I want you to concentrate on your eyes. I want you to, you know, it gets in your nose, it comes along, and it grows in your mouth. You know, it goes through and winds in your teeth. You know, it's really difficult to get off, but, you know, that's what you have to do. You have to get it off, and you have to stay encouraged, and you have to say, you know, okay, you know, here's what's going on. It's going to take a while. It's a process of finally getting your body clear of this stuff. So, another thing he told me, I'm going to stand up, is he told me to cup your hand. Whoops. Let me see how I can get this so you can see it. He told me cup your hands like this and pull up. And, you know, this is like down to my legs. He told me, you gotta keep going like this, like this. I want you to do that like 200 times a day till finally you don't feel anymore. Then another thing he told me was, okay, look, it's stuck between your fingers. And here's a technique to get it off. You take your hand like this and you pull up. And it's like, right now, it's difficult for me to do it with all, it's like I can't go all the way down, pull all the way up because I need to get more off first. So he's like, okay, so to start off, if you can only do like one finger at a time, you know, start at the top so it's a little easier to get it off and slowly work your way down to where you can get your hands all the way together and pull the stuff out from between your fingers. So you have to just, first you have to become aware of what's on you. You have to become aware that, okay, these sensations, this stuff, it's something that's like growing along down your body and going along different patterns. It always eventually ends up going back up to your head where it originates from. And you know, maybe there's some more techniques. I can't think of them right now, but you know, if I can, or if someone wants to write me through this site, I'll let you know. But you take a towel, a damp towel, and you like put it on you, and you try to get some, and you follow it out, because the dampness in the towel will, you know, cause it to stick to the towel instead of you. But the thing is, if you're using a towel like this, it's like, he told me that these main threads, he told me they're like as strong as steel springs, steel wire. He said, so what happens is you're trying to get this stuff off you and it's getting in the towel, but is you're getting it off, if you don't get it all the way off into the towel, what will happen is you pull the towel away and it slides right out of the towel, and you've broken it away from the main area so it's looser, but it slides right back out of the towel and it's still on you. So you have to develop techniques. It takes practice. It's like learning to play a musical instrument, a stringed instrument or something, where you get a feel for it, where you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I can feel it, okay. And you have to be sensitive to the pulling sensation, because what happens is you go down and you feel it coming off your skin, and then like, okay, I feel it pulling this way. So you go along, you follow the pull of it to get it off you. And really what you need to do is you need to have all your clothes off, because this stuff will like go down your throat, down your chest, it'll be under your arms, it'll go down to between your legs, it'll circle around your back, it'll go down your leg, get caught in your toes, and you're trying to chase this stuff out. And you can't see anything. All you can do is say, okay, yeah, I feel it here. And like you'll be pulling and sitting there like, you know, I feel kind of a tension over here. And what has happened is you're getting it off and you're breaking it free from the main mass of it on you. It loosens up, and like I mentioned, like this spring action it has to it. It's like, okay, you've loosened it up, and now over here where the next segment of it is, it's coming loose to where it's like now pulling there. I'm like, okay, I feel it here in my chin, but now I'm feeling a pulling on my left ear, so I'm gonna probably try to move in that area. Yeah, sure enough, there's some, okay. Now it's going back up my side of my ear. Man, it goes back and forth, left and right. And it's a tedious process. It's not fun. You know, it gets in your mouth, I read about someone that had this saying, yeah, I had perfect teeth and now I've lost all my teeth. It's like, sometimes also you'll feel like a pulling, like, my tooth is starting to hurt. And you end up having to go by your mouth and unwind it. It is not fun. But here's the thing. You can get it off you. You can get it all off you. You just have to keep at it. It's like a project. It's like, okay, I got a big patch of weeds in my backyard, and it's more than I can do, in the day. It's like, and more weeds are growing, so it's like a project, and it takes a while. It took me, I think, about, I don't know, maybe 4 months, way back when I was a teenager. Um, I don't know how long I've had it now, maybe longer than I had it then, so it's like there's even more to get off. But this is how you get it off. You move around, you first off, you have to recognize how to detect it with your touch of your hand. Sometimes it feels like, it feels like it's my hair, but there's no real hair growing there, Feels almost like I got a spider web here. Um, and, I'm just trying to help you, but don't hurt yourself. Keep your nails short. Never let your hand with your nails straight to it. Always keep your fingers turned up. If you start feeling a tension on your tooth, be careful that, you don't end up losing a tooth, scratching yourself. When you're getting it out of your eyes, here's something the doctor told me. He said, okay, so when you're trying to get this stuff out of your eyes, he said, you don't want to scratch it. So what you do is you look up while you're getting it off. So the main portion of your eye is like up, and where your pupil is. And, that's about it for now. I don't know who's going to watch this video and say, oh, I think that guy is crazy. Yeah, he doesn't know what he's talking about. So you can think what you want. This is what I went through before. I don't know about this because I did some kind of research, and, it's not like, oh, I'm just having imaginations. I'm telling you what this dermatologist from long ago, taught me and how I got it off. Okay? So, the Lord bless you and keep you. Bye-bye.